Yeah, I haven't been called young in a long time, so, everybody out on tour calls me the old man.
Golf's no different from hockey. It requires talent, self-discipline.
Pressure is something you create on your own when you start thinking about results.
We have some great plans for the future of that.
I saw Doug play yesterday, and I got to tell you, this guy spends more time in the sand than David Hasselhoff.
Happy anniversary.
It's our anniversary.
Yes, it is. Take us back to the 90s. That? I think that's Tony.
They might have done it again.
Wow, I cannot believe that I remembered that. When I was a kid, my mom was really into whatever the top pop hits were. So we always went to the warehouse, and she'd usually buy the single, which had a B-side. And I'm fairly certain that was the B-side to their really famous song.
I was almost going to do the warehouse commercial on you right there. We used to do it to each other all the time when someone would say, like, I was going to the warehouse. Oh, where?
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Where? The warehouse.
The warehouse.
Yeah. We're aging ourselves, dating ourselves, which is perfectly appropriate for the subject matter of this podcast, which is my husband trying to get a coveted spot on the U.S. Senior Open.
Yep. A boy's got a dream, and a man has to dream too. That's where we're at.
Seniors can dream too. The dreams don't die after you retire.
Almost seniors.
Almost seniors. Well,
the dream is starting at almost senior.
Yes, exactly. So let's talk about, I think we misled folks, our three listeners last week when we said our upcoming episode, our second one would be the plan. But I think before we discuss the plan, we have to discuss a little something that you call the dream.
The dream.
Tell us about that.
Next episode is the plan.
Okay.
First, you got to have a dream. You got to dream it first, right?
This is true.
And then you can plan.
If you dream
I think that's corporate speak.
That is. You Jack Welch? Is that dude's name?
Jack Welch.
I went way down the corporate cult rabbit hole with that one.
Yeah, you did.
Please proceed.
But no, you have to have a dream. That's where it starts. That's where all the good ideas start. It's, you don't dream it, it's hard to imagine it.
Okay. So what does this dream look like? How are you going to bring this dream to fruition?
Well, first, the dream is winning.
Okay. Simple. I like it. I married a simple
Charlie
man.
Sheen. Winning.
I'll get you some Tiger Blood next week.
Yeah. I wanted the winning t-shirt that came out. Did I tell you I saw him live on his
think
tour?
so. And it was terrible, right?
It had the potential to be really good.
Yeah.
But you could tell people went in there wanting to hear like these zingers that were the catchy, like the Tiger Blood and the winning and everything. And people pretty much just wanted him to be like one of those dolls where you pull the string and just like one of those comes out every time, where he wanted to tell like stories. He wanted to make it a question and answer where people could say like, what was the craziest like drinking night you ever had or stuff like that. And he told a couple good stories, but he also like kicked somebody out.
Okay. So it was more the audience's fault than it was his fault. Agree. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Even though he was probably pretty crazy there, but
he's definitely crazy.
But enough about him. Let's get back to me.
That's right. This isn't about Charlie Sheen.
No, not yet. But yeah, I've always wanted to play golf at an elite level, at a high level. And I always wondered, and other people have done this too, where they say, I wonder if I devote X number of time, like anywhere from just my spare time to quitting my job and trying to make it on tour and making that be like my job type of thing.
It's like the 10,000 hours thing, right? You put in 10,000 hours and that's how you master something. I don't know if that necessarily translates, perfectly for somebody who isn't like a high level, I don't know, who doesn't have that capability innately. If there is such a thing as innate athleticism. I
think there is. I think stuff gets unlocked in certain people that wouldn't get unlocked in other people, even if they were doing the exact same practice routine or whatever.
And genetics play a part too. Like look at the kids that we know that are in our kids' classes, or our kids' class who, they play well for their age. Like, is that an adult playing? But their parents, their fathers typically played.
Yep.
Or moms.
Or they just practice. Like, I think also that could be the challenge here too, is a lot of golf is muscle memory, and people that ingrained proper technique at an early age, at a young age, and that's all they would have to kind of go back to and dust off a little bit. Then I think they're going to be in a better position than myself, who probably developed some not so good swing habits that are still in there that are going to have to get undone and replaced.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be easy, but this is my way. My dream is to see if I can, if I do put the time in and I do devote the energy, if I could, one, get my handicap down to below a 3.4, I think it is, or 2.4. Here, let me look.
I think you said 2.4 last time.
It's in the notes. I had it here. Let me take a look.
I'm going to go 2.4.
2.4.
Yeah. My memory is solid.
Very good. So can I get it down to a 2.4? And then from there, do I have what it takes to compete at a high level to qualify to get into the U.S. Senior Open? It's going to be hard.
Yeah, it is. And I think anything worth doing in life, it's hard. Nothing worthwhile comes easy as far as I'm concerned. So we know you played last week because we talked about the tournament that you were in.
Yes.
So you played, and then are you playing next week? You're playing on Sunday.
Since the tournament, I played this last Monday at Golden Gate Golf
That's right.
Course.
Okay. Yeah.
They just redid it. I grew up 3 blocks from there and used to play there when I was a kid, and been wanting to play. They reopened it, I think, in the spring, maybe March or something like that. And I've been wanting to play it. Finally got to, which was cool because it was a lot of fun. But it is just a par 3 course. It's, I almost looked at a day like that more like practice, even though I was in a competition, a season-long competition with my good buddy. So there was some like stress on the line, but still.
Dinner was on the line.
That was, dinner will be.
I think dinner we still owe him dinner.
No, I got it.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
I'm not that bad.
And unfortunately, Golden Gate is not a fan of the Twilight Golf. So you only got to play 9 holes instead of 18.
You must have been excited about that phone call.
I was, yeah. He got to help put our child to bed, which is always nice. Mom gets a little break. So that's good. Whoa, I think somebody just took out their recycling really loud. We're up in Sonoma, and so it's generally pretty quiet up here. You might get some cricket action if our mics are really good, because I can hear them. There's a chorus of crickets outside tonight. But yeah, somebody just took out their recycling, and it was insane. Anyway, I digress. So what's coming up this week in the Champions Tour?
Talk about the previous week.
Okay.
So we'll recap is what we'll do. I don't know if we need to do preview stuff. We'll see.
Okay. So what happened?
But there was this last week's Champions Tour tournament was the Boeing Classic at the golf club at, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Snoqualmie Ridge.
Snoqualmie? I don't know.
Snoqualmie Ridge. It's somewhere east of Seattle. And looked like, I watched a little bit of it on TV. It looked like they had some good crowds. The player's purse was $2.2 million. Kind of funny when you look at the prize purses for these Champions Tour events, something like this, $2.2 million.
Yeah.
If you look at a PGA Tour event now, some of them, I think almost bare minimum, it's $5 million. I think most of them are somewhere between 7 and 10. I'll have to check on this.
Well, who the most...
And the big ones are like 25.
Oh, wow. You know who the most highly compensated person participating in the Olympics was last month, right?
Last Olympics?
Yeah, it's last Olympics.
Who was it?
It was John Rahm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was the highest paid amongst Steph Curry and LeBron. Other golfers and tennis players. He was number 1. They broke down the top 20. Of course, they're all men, but that's another conversation. So you'll have to check out my other podcast for that one. Okay. Gotcha. So just kind of looking, it's interesting when you look at the money and everything like that. But the winner was someone, I've recognized this person, Stephen Ames. Okay.
And he was on the PGA Tour. I think he's Canadian. I'm almost positive he's Canadian. He won the tournament with an 11 under.
Okay.
And second place at 10 under, so just lost by a shot, was the Big Easy, Ernie Els.
Fuck yeah. You know, I love Ernie Els.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the best swings around. Some other notables. I thought I saw something online that Fred Couples, he'd been out injured for some time. So this was kind of his comebacker. And I believe he grew up in Seattle. So this one's probably a little.
How old is he now?
He is probably 60.
Oh, okay.
He might be late 50s.
He's a lot younger than I thought.
He's either late 50s or 60.
Okay. I thought he was, for some reason.
He just joined the Champions Tour
Fred
maybe
Couples
5 years ago.
Just sounds like a real old-timey name. So I figured he was around 80.
He's a silver fox.
He is.
He's one of my favorites. But, he was tied for 18th at 4 under. I think he had a really good final day. I don't think he did good the days before.
Okay.
But had a good final tournament. Also tied for 18th at 4 under, the mechanic, Miguel Jimenez.
Is that the dude with the hardcore ponytail and the cigar?
Yes. That we have the autograph in the man cave. Yeah. That's him.
All man.
Rocco Mediate was tied for 33rd at 2 under for the tournament. Rocco Mediate, if you don't know, he was, he's on the senior tour, so he's older, but he was always considered one of the elders of the tour. And he went head to head against Tiger Woods in the 2008 US Open, where Tiger pretty much was playing on one leg because the cartilage was all gone. And Tiger made that putt on the very 72nd hole to tie Rocco. And so then it had to go to a 18-hole playoff the next day. And I think it went to 20 holes.
Oh, geez.
And Tiger beat him. And so that's what he's really famous for, is losing that US Open to Tiger.
Famous for losing.
But I like Rocco.
All right.
He's very down to earth.
Okay.
I think he's got a show on Sirius XM also.
Nice.
David Duval was tied for 64th. Have you heard of David Duval?
Nope.
So David Duval, I believe, was the last number one golfer before Tiger Woods became number one.
Okay.
And David Duval was killing it. Shot a 59, which anytime anyone shoots a 59, it's a big deal on the PGA Tour. So he's a broadcaster now. He commentates, but supposedly he was number one. He was doing great. And I think he either tried to work out or maybe he got hurt either working out or doing something else and then never recovered. He was just
when working out takes you down.
Yeah.
That's a bad way to go.
Well, a lot of players started seeing if I'm going to keep up, I need professional in 1999 physically get better. When I was finishing up my last full year of college, tried to do some when he turned pro. But anyway, he's only got one and then VJ Singh. Do you know VJ Singh?
I do.
So he's ranked 780th in the world, the official world golf rank.
That's not bad.
So those were just
when you think about how many golfers are there who are ranked, right? Do you know?
One of my
I'm curious.
They go to like thousands.
Okay, then that's not bad.
So at some point, we'll probably have to commemorate it when I get an official world rank.
Yes. That's some stiff competition.
Yeah, I mean, he's played in 266 events, won one time on the PGA Tour. He makes the cut, 135 cuts made out of 266.
Okay.
So that's about half the time.
Yep.
Makes the cut half the time. He had one runner-up finish, 6 top 5s, 15 top 10s. Joined the tour in 2007. And he's made $8 million in his career playing golf.
Wow.
Since 1999.
Well, that's kind of amazing to me because not that I've heard of all golfers, but I think my repertoire is, or however you say that, I'm not French, is pretty decent from hanging out with you for the last 13 years.
Yeah.
10 of those being married as of tonight. And even with no name recognition, like a lot of golf fans wouldn't even know who this guy is. He still made $8 million through the course of his career. $8
million in 25 years because he turned pro in 99. So
that's not bad.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some players talk about how, like you said, this person, he could sit down next to me at a restaurant. I'd have no idea who he was.
Sure.
Tiger Woods sits down next to you. You know exactly who he is. Phil Mickelson, you know exactly. Those other golfers I mentioned, I would know who they are if they sat there.
Sure. Yep.
But this guy gets to make $8 million over the course of 24 years. He's still playing golf. He'll eventually, since he won an event, I think he probably will get fast tracked to the being able to be on the senior tour. And
not a bad life.
No, not at all.
You get to be somewhat anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
You get to be a millionaire. And you get to do what you love every single day.
Yep.
Or close to every single day. It's kind of phenomenal. I think you should shoot to be maybe about 1,000th in the world.
Well, I'm telling you, him and I will be trying to qualify for that same senior open, I bet.
Okay, let's manifest.
And he'll probably try to qualify for the regular open too. And then,
yeah.
So,
all right.
There's our first future person I'm going to have to go up against.
I like that. All right. I like discussing on a weekly basis yet another person who will likely be your competition if you're able to fulfill this dream.
Yep. The dream.
He has a dream, everybody. All right. So keep listening.
Yep. Next week is the plan.
Next week is the plan. We are still only on Spotify. For some reason, Apple hasn't added us to their directory yet. I don't know what's going on there.
They're probably afraid that we have a monopoly on senior status golf podcast.
Oh, yeah. I think we've cornered a market, right? An untapped market. So, yeah. But if you follow us on TikTok at Dry Double, if you click on the YouTube link, it'll take you. You can listen on YouTube. That works, right? And you can get to our Spotify account or whatever.
Yeah, through one of the links or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't keep the social media straight, but I know we've got it, and I know it's up to date. I know you can listen, and I know you can like and subscribe and do all those fun things on our behalf.
Then please do. Spread the word. If you like us, tell people to listen.
Yeah. All right, everybody, keep listening, because next week, the plan.
Dun, dun, dun.
Have a good night.